back to the Fantasy Fundamentals Podcast. That's Jay on Double A. Let's go.
Last week, in mid-recording, I took a team, made it my lock. That should have been your first red flag. It was an emotional bet. I did say that if I was wrong, I would give away this football. If I miss one, I'm 100% right now on my locks.
Yeah.
If I miss one lock, I'll give away that Denzel Mims signed Jets football.
Oh, whoa. Just gonna get your ass up to just grab it.
Damn it, dude.
I can't believe that hasn't broken yet. It's twice.
I love editing.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the Fantasy. This is a Denzel Mims signed football, and Harry, our Patreon subscriber, this is now yours.
All right.
Sorry I threw your merchandise. That was kind of shitty.
That is.
Didn't really think
thinking in my head. I was gonna say it, but in my head I was like, that's kind of shitty.
I pictured like 3D glasses and like a movie screen where the ball's coming at you.
I thought you were gonna knock over the camera.
I really thought I was.
Really
as soon
close.
as I let go, I knew it was problematic.
Yeah.
By the way, we've went through several cameras because people dropped them. I'm not going to mention.
Mm-hmm. I'm not one of them. I'm just going to say that.
So we usually start this off with a small intro, going to the Thursday night game. I'm going to go on a little tangent here. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything you would like to say before I just start talking and you can't get a fucking word in?
About Thursday night?
Yeah, Thursday night.
I like Darnold. Like that defense. Like that team. Panthers.
Successful people and organizations always do the same thing at the same time, in the same order, in the same way. Unsuccessful people, unsuccessful organizations do the same thing. Because we, as a race, just like to do the same thing. We do it over and over and over again. Okay? It's not coincidental that the Jets are still rebuilding 20 years later with a high-pick quarterback. The Patriots are good, and they can just take a quarterback later in the draft, and he's good. This is not a coincidence. Now, the Panthers get it. And back when Adam Gase was hired with the Jets, I wanted Matt Rule because Matt Rule fits good system. But the Panthers have the second most available cap space. Okay? The Jets are like 12th. I don't know exactly, but I mean 12th worst cap scenario. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
And then you just look at the teams, and it's like, that's a big difference. Sam Darnold under the Jets, 59.8% completion percentage. It's not terrible. It's not amazing, but it's not terrible. 3% of the time he threw an interception. That's bad. 78.6 quarterback rating. I stood by Sam Darnold for 3 years, and nobody, except for you, and I think mainly that's because you're a Patriots fan, you probably saw him play a little more than the average person, but nobody liked this guy. Everybody said they didn't like him in college, he's garbage, he's a bust, this, that, and the other. Under Carolina, and I know it's a small sample size, but he's at 68.2% completion percentage, second in the NFL. 0.09% interception rate, 99 quarterback rating. Not only is that good, but those 3 games are better than any 3 games he played with the Jets. And analysts are now like, oh, well, it's McCaffrey. You got such a weapon in McCaffrey, and McCaffrey's his scapegoat. And they said the same things when Bell came in. Bell didn't really do a whole lot, right? And everyone's like, oh, Bell's terrible. Well, McCaffrey came in, and guess what? He got hurt right away in this game.
Yeah, it was pretty early.
Sam Darnold threw for over 300 yards. He had a 35-yard rushing
he did take
taken
his
away.
rushing touchdown, though.
Huh?
He did take the rushing touchdown away from McCaffrey.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Well, that's what I want to get into in a little bit here. McCaffrey is not the reason Sam Darnold was good. Adam Gase and the Jets were. The Jets are going to do the same thing they did with Darnold, with their new quarterback, because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. And everyone's like, I like Joe Douglas. And I do like Joe Douglas. But Joe Douglas had one starter from the 2020 draft class. They got all these picks. What the fuck they do with them? Carolina had much less picks. Much less picks. They have 70% of their entire roster was turned over in the last 2 years. They're a good team. They had less picks. They have more available cap space. I think Matt Rule kind of gets it. I think that team is successful because they're successful. With that being said, everyone flip-flopped on Sam. Now everyone's like, oh yeah, I liked Sam. I've always liked Sam. And this is the bullshit. Bandwagon jumpers. It's bullshit. Now, without McCaffrey, Sam Darnold's a top 6 quarterback in fantasy football because he's going to run more. Now, the way that the offense is designed, it's designed for a simple 4-read process. That's it. But the last guy is always the backside. It's always McCaffrey. You saw in that game, they're trying to manufacture that, but they don't have one. Now, maybe they can get one together. Love Chuba Hubbard. He's not that guy. He's a between-the-tackles runner.
Yeah.
Okay? So, what's that mean? That means Sam Darnold's going to scramble more. Like hit 35-yard run. Now, it was called back, but that's going to happen more often. He got 2 rushing touchdowns in this game. Well, he's going to take those quarterback sneaks. He's going to do this. The Sam Darnold is top 6 quarterback in fantasy football right now. Now, let's say Matt Rule versus Adam Gase. Okay? The system in general, Adam Gase had a 2-purpose system. He had this guy or this guy. Completely read the defense pre-snap, and then hike and throw the ball. And if you're wrong on that, you got to pick. He did this for 3 years. Well, what did this do? That made Sam Darnold pretty good at reading pre-snap defense. Okay? Matt Rule's offense is a reactionary offense, meaning who on the defense is doing what, that's where you're going, and all his reads are right in front of him. So he can do 2 or 3 reads at the same time. Eventually, the receivers will cross right in front of you, and either you're going to this guy, or this guy, right? So it has made him good. So you have to tip your hat to Adam Gase. He prepared him to be a good quarterback in this league, but his system's terrible. Matt Rule isn't the best coach, but his system and his design is really great. So they had a lot of injuries. I just want to roughly touch on the Panthers. Horn got hurt. Yes, Bouye is back. So I don't think this hurts them very much. They lose one, they get the other.
Yeah.
I don't know how long Horn's going to get out. It is a broken foot from what I hear.
Broken foot? Oh, that's going to be a while.
But they're a good team. I think Texans showed a lot. Because...
I mean, David Mills.
Well, Mills is a good quarterback. He didn't have a bad game. They pinned their ears back. They took after him like most teams do. And he didn't make terrible decisions. His arm talent's not the greatest.
No, but he showed certain things that he could do well, but he did have bad decisions in that game as well. But you're going to get that because he's a rookie.
Exactly. I really liked what I saw. I thought him to really implode against this defense. I think the Panthers defense, people are just now starting to realize it's a top 5 defense.
Yeah.
And I said this in June when I said, hey, I like the Panthers to possibly win the division for 31-1. I like those odds. And if you're a Patreon subscriber or you watch the show, you would have seen that. Panthers defense is very underrated, but they're starting to get their rapport. The other thing about the Texans, and the reason why everyone said Sam Darnold was doing good but isn't good is because of McCaffrey. Well, you definitely saw that. When McCaffrey went down, the Texans stopped playing contain, and they pinned their ears back and they went after Sam. Like, immediately, and did it every play since. Mm-hmm. And they have the ability to do it. Now, the worst thing on the Panthers is their offensive line. So I don't know how good the Texans' pass rush is, but they showed, at least in this game, they can get it done. I don't think the Texans are as bad as we thought.
No. Just the quarterback situation, how it flipped, just made everybody think that team's way worse, especially when you get rid of J.J. Watt and Hopkins in the same year.
Yeah, there's a lot of turnover.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, let's get into it. What's the first one we got?
We got Chargers, Chiefs.
Chargers, Chiefs. I like the Chargers.
Yeah. They're getting 7. Over-under is 54.5. I'm taking the 7 for the Chargers.
I am too.
Yeah.
So the line stayed strong at 7. Over-under actually went up a little bit. I like Mike Williams in this game for DFS. But the Chargers... they have a good defensive passing. It's their rushing, which is why a lot of people think the Chiefs are going to run a little bit in this game.
Yeah,
And they might, but he
do
just fumbled to lose the game. He just did it. Like, he should at least be a little bit in the doghouse.
You would think, unless they just run him into the ground and say, hey, go for it this game.
It's not the first time he did that.
No, it's not.
No, he fumbles. He can't, he's not a good running back. I think he has potential, but he doesn't quite have the ball security to play in this system.
Yeah, he plays a little reckless with the ball.
Yes, he does. And he's not good enough to be that way.
Not yet.
Is the point.
Yeah.
And if he was getting 200 yards a game, all right. But he's not that player yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll ever be.
Let's hit 100 first.
I'm taking the under in this game. I think the Chargers are going to have a good defensive day, but it's the Chiefs. So they're not going to completely stop them. And I think the Chiefs defense has yet to really figure it out. They're not as good as they have been.
No, they haven't been. I don't think it quite gets fixed this game. I think it's going to be quite a few points. I'm going to take the over on this one.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it if the Chargers won this game.
I could see the Chargers. I kind of want to take them to do it. That's why I'm taking the points. I don't know why it's so many points.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to lock this game, and I've been back and forth on it a lot.
Yeah.
And if the Chiefs lose this game, I don't think it changes much except for my ability to call them out. I called them out preseason, and I said, everyone's like, oh, the Chiefs are good. Remember our power rankings? They weren't 1.
Yeah.
They weren't 2.
Yeah.
They weren't 3 on my book.
I had them 4.
I had them 4.
Yeah.
So I think people are starting to... I don't know. People still think the Chiefs are the best thing since sliced bread. So,
yeah.
I really wanted to lock this game, but I can't. But I will definitely take the Chargers +7.
The Chargers might not be able to go down the field as quickly, but they can certainly go down and score.
Yeah,
you give them 2 minutes, I think they can score.
I think Eckler's going to, have a good game.
Oh, yeah, he should go off.
But, like I said, it's still early in the season. I'm not quite ready to say the Chargers are this good, simultaneously saying that the Chiefs aren't this good.
It's hard to see the Chiefs losing back-to-back at home.
Exactly. But I wouldn't doubt it.
No.
I think the Chiefs are an upcoming team. Moving on, though. Cardinals, Jaguars. Jaguars are getting 7.5. It's up half a point. And I think that's fair. I think they should actually be getting more. I'm going to lock this game, but I am hesitant on the points because the Cardinals, they have a lot of penalties, and Lawrence is slinging that ball. And he's...
Oh, yeah, he is. They're throwing a lot.
He's not super elite right now, but you can see he's throwing a lot. He's throwing aggressive balls, and he's been relatively safe with it. So I think they can have one of those games where they just beat somebody that they don't deserve to beat.
I don't think it's the Cardinals, though, because I don't think they can keep up. Now, Hopkins is a game-time decision with ribs. Even if he plays, he might not play a full slate. But, it's still Hopkins. But I have the under on this one with the Cardinals 28-17.
I have the under as well. I have it 28-20. I think the Cardinals can win. I think they should win over 7.5.
Yeah.
I'm going to be safe and take him just straight up for my lock. But I really like Christian Kirk. From Monday, I put number 1 on my list. I wanted Christian Kirk.
I like Moore.
I don't mind Moore.
I think he's the better option.
And I think Edmonds isn't a bad option either.
No.
He's going to get a lot of checkdowns. And then maybe you can come back with Chenault because they're going to be down in this game. He is a gunslinger, and that's the best matchup for the Jaguars. Chark, it's not a terrible matchup, but it's just not as juicy and luscious as Chenault's. So I would probably do a Christian Kirk and come back with Chenault, or an Edmonds come back with Chenault. If Hopkins is good, you believe in him, I have no problem with that. But I think Chenault might be the cheap guy that you can come back with. Bears-Browns. Bears getting 7. I really don't like this game. It pisses me off.
Yeah.
Because I have to take the Bears.
I
have to take the over.
With the points, yeah, I'm going to take it, but I'm not taking the over. It did change a lot, though.
It changed a lot. From 47 down to 44.5.
It's not even the biggest mover.
I feel like I have to take the over. And kind of the same thing with the Bears and the Browns. Landry's on IR. OBJ may play, but he's beat up. Mayfield, I know it's his non-throwing shoulder, but he dislocated it. He's sore on Wednesday.
Mhm.
Like, he gets hit once or twice. I don't know if the Bears are a good defense. They struggled against the Texans.
They did, but I mean, they have better receivers at this point right now.
If the Bears rookie quarterback can play mediocre football, I think the Bears can win this game. Like, I think they can win the game.
I could see him winning the game. Yeah, but
It's just I've said since day one when he was drafted or a prospect, his quarterback needs time.
oh yeah, he does. I think it does help that he got in last week with the injury to get some playing time for this week, but I'm not sure how far that's going to get him.
Yeah, he's a runner, man, and he wasn't super convincing when he got in last week.
He did throw a touchdown to Robinson that he dropped. So,
I mean, yeah, I did see that. So, I don't know. I have a 24-21 Browns. I'll take the points with the Bears. This is not a lock for a reason.
no, I'm not locking it, but I'm taking the Bears with 7 at 21-17 Browns.
Washington football team, Buffalo Bills. Washington's getting 7, down from 10. I really liked him at 10. I've made a lot of bets
Yeah.
with them with 10 points.
Yeah, that's just way too much to give. I mean, a good team.
Yeah. Now that they dropped to 7,
I mean,
I'm playing the adverse. And I don't really feel good about it. I think the Bills are better than they were week 1. I don't think they're as good as they were week 2. I think they're somewhere in the middle. But Washington's kind of all over the place right now. Maybe their defense isn't as good as we thought.
I think their corners are hurting. I feel like they're not as good as last year, but they still have a great line.
Well, Young has yet to show that.
He's doing okay, but he's not the only one back there.
We were all excited for Young to just smash some faces.
Yeah, we were.
That's not really happening.
Not yet.
I don't know. I still like the Washington football team. I like the Buffalo Bills. I think the Bills just have it together. I have it 28-20 Bills. I think they can win by more than 7. I did initially like the points with Washington. I think in DFS, Diggs is going to go off. Sanders could have a game. You can come back with McLaurin. I'm okay with that. It's just a little expensive.
I would say it's Diggs versus McLaurin this game.
Well, McLaurin's got a really good corner covering him. Diggs doesn't
beat
have
him.
shit. I agree.
Now, if Heineke, maybe he can't quite get the ball to him, but McLaurin can win that matchup. And they can't really stop Diggs.
Yeah, I'm never going to talk bad about my boy, Scary Terry, but I think Humphreys is the play here.
I mean, I have the Bills 27-17.
Colts Titans. Colts are getting 5.5, up half a point. Over-under is down 2.5 points, down to 48. Colts are not this bad. The Titans secondary is not that good. I like Pascal in this game. I like the Colts to figure it out. They're my 0-2 team that I would say is the most likely to actually make the playoffs. They can come back. They can get it with it. Wentz can come back. I hate Wentz, but I mean, they can be functional. They're not this bad. I just don't think they're there yet. I think they need more time. I have the Titans winning this 26-21. I'll take the Colts in the 5.5. I don't feel good about it. I wouldn't bet this game. But even though the over-under dropped 2.5 points, I'm taking the under. Because I feel like it's going to be a shit show on both sides. I don't think the Texans' offense is gelling yet. The Colts still have a pretty good D. But the Colts' offense is definitely not gelling.
No, I mean, if Wentz plays, how well is he going to play on 2 sprained ankles? He's not really going to move a lot. But then again, Phillip Rivers last year, he didn't really move at all. So, I mean, they might be able to get something done, but they don't really have the weapons to keep up. Saints, Patriots.
Saints are getting 3. Stayed strong at 3. Only went down half a point. The Saints, away from the stadium last week, traveled without 8 coaches and coordinators. I think maybe week 1 Saints is closer to who they really are than week 2. My only hesitation is the Patriots' defense versus turnover master Jameis Winston is too much to pick the Saints.
I mean, you got to stop Kamara. That's what the Patriots do, stop your best player. They stop him. I mean, I don't think Winston can get it done. Yeah, he can air it out, but I don't think he's going to be able to go that far with it. I mean, I have it fairly low score, and I have it under the 42.5. Patriots 21-17. So I'm taking that 3.
Yeah, in DFS, I like the Patriots defense. I think that's a good play.
Yeah.
The only thing I have on this game is the Patriots aren't a team like they used to be where they want to run up the score, they're going to run away with it. Dude, they had 4 picks on the Jets, and it was still a 10-point game.
Yeah, they're not quite there yet.
Like, they eventually got up, but that's because the Jets continuously shot themselves in the foot over and over and over again. The Jets could have won that game coming into the second half, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, they could have.
So I don't know if the Patriots are a team that puts games away. So I'm really back and forth on this. I'm going to go 21-20 Patriots. They win at the end of the game because that's what the Patriots do. But I'll take the points with the Saints. I don't think they're as bad as they were last week.
No. But it's still, you don't really know who they are yet.
Giants, Falcons. Falcons are getting 3. I think the Giants are a really good team. I think
Potentially.
They had some really tough matchups. Now, they didn't seem tough at the time. But, I mean, Washington and Denver, those are not pushover teams.
No.
Especially not Denver.
Yeah, especially not Denver.
Now, I think Atlanta could give them life because their defense is so bad that the Giants have been moving the ball. They've been doing pretty well against the defenses of Denver and Washington.
I think they can get past their defense a little better than the past ones they've faced, but I think the Falcons' offense is getting better and better each week, and I think it can keep up with the Giants at this point right now.
Falcons' defense is terrible.
It is.
If Barkley does not have a day, I am worried. I'm serious. I'm worried.
I mean, he's got to do better than what he's been doing.
Barkley has a great game this game, then that's 2 things. Yeah, Atlanta sucks on defense. But that also means he's getting over his injury. And a bold fucking move, but if you're in a seasonal, not a dynasty, but a seasonal league, straight up trade Christian McCaffrey for Barkley. That's right, I fucking said it. Let me tell you why. McCaffrey got a hamstring. Those linger all season. His value is at its highest point right now. And he got hurt. And now Chuba Hubbard's going crazy. I think Barkley is slowly getting up to speed, and McCaffrey has peaked for the season. And now, after he comes back from that hamstring injury and starts becoming himself, the Panthers and Sam Darnold would have found a solution to supplement that, and it might not give him 70% of the fucking targets. So I'm not saying you should do it. I'm saying if your team is sketchy, that's a ballsy move that I could see turning out.
I mean, I would say if you've won already, maybe not. But if you're staring at maybe 0-3 with a bad McCaffrey week this week, maybe.
Sterling Shepard, I think, is going to have a day. He's probably I'm most confident. I like his matchup. I like everything about his situation. I think Galladay could actually just go off. If he's ever going to go off, this is the game. I'm taking the over on this game. I'm going to lock it with the Giants. I have it 28-21 Giants.
I have it 28-27 Giants. I'm taking the over. That's probably the most confident thing I feel about in this game. But I have the Falcons covering that 3, and I like that. And I think the Falcons can win this game. The home game for the Giants, that's the difference. It's home for them, so I'll take them.
Can I do a double lock?
Are you saying you want to do a parlay?
You can't parlay the same game with itself.
Oh, yeah, you can't do it. Yeah.
That's why I'm asking, can I do a double lock? Because I'd like to lock the over, and I'd like to lock the Giants.
I tried to warn you about the Bengals and the Bears last week, and look what happened. The Bears beat the Bengals. And I'm trying to help you out. You know, I'm going to win regardless, but I don't want it to be by a landslide. I'm telling you, don't lock this game.
You've ruined all our watchers. Like, even if I confidently lock this game, they're so hesitant now because you destroyed it.
That's my lock, is to not lock this game.
Bengals Steelers. Bengals getting 3, down from 4.5. I don't know why it's down from 4.5. Bengals played just as bad as the Steelers.
Maybe people are thinking they're going to score points.
I think this is the game Claypool goes off. I know they've really tried to get him the ball. I think he can break it in this game. I kind of like the reverse too, like a Chase Higgins. I wouldn't stack it. I don't necessarily like Burrow against the Steelers, Burrow scares me a little last week because he made a lot of mistakes, like mental error mistakes.
He's going to. He's still kind of a rookie.
Yeah,
A lot of people put him on a high pedestal, but he hasn't really done anything yet. He's still fresh off of an injury.
Yeah, the injury doesn't scare me. The Steelers' defense kind of does.
Let him play a year.
I'm going to take the over in this game because it dropped from 47 to 43. I think 43 is too low.
That was a big move, yeah. I'm taking the over because of that drop, too. I have it 28-17 Steelers.
Yeah, so I have it 27-20 Steelers. I think the Steelers will win by more than 3. I do like this game. I did bet this game. I'm not going to lock it, though, because I still think Burrow can just have one of those games where he throws for like 500 yards. The Steelers could have one of those games where they just implode. Ravens, Lions. Lions getting 8. Over-under is 50. Lamar Jackson sick?
Yeah, he's got something. I don't know what it is, but he's feeling bad.
Do you think all these injuries actually start affecting the Ravens? Because they've used it up to this point as like motivation to like keep going. I don't.
Yeah, because they're getting anybody they can to put in here because they have so many injuries.
The key stat here that just burns me in the face is the Ravens are 32nd in the NFL against the pass, and the Lions are 12th in passing. With that kind of a stat line,
behind a lot.
Yeah, but with that kind of a stat line, do you think running the ball is going to overcome it? Maybe. I don't know. 8 points though.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I'm going to take the Lions with 8. Now, call me crazy. I have it 27-20 Ravens. I think the Lions with 8 points can make that spread. And I'm going to take the under because I don't see how 50 points are scored in this game.
You don't?
I don't.
I think the Ravens are... I mean, they're still going to be able to put up points, but their defense has so many injuries, and the Lions aren't a terrible team. Like, they have pieces they can get together. They can do stuff. I mean,
Goff has showed good stuff.
He has. I think they can put up points on this very banged-up Ravens team. I mean, I have them covering that 8, but still Ravens winning 31-24.
Man, we both picked the Lions.
To cover.
Jets, Broncos. The Jets will bounce back in this game.
They will?
Yeah, fuck yeah, they will.
Bounce, like... You're talking about, like, they're up here, they bounce, and they bounce right here, then they go like that until it just stops.
All they got to do is get 100 yards of offense and throw 3 interceptions, and it's a better game.
You think they throw less or more than 3 interceptions?
Dude,
2.5.
I think that's a good line. I think there's 2.
I think it's over.
I think it's a good line, 2.5.
Yeah.
I think the Jets played really bad last week. I think they're going to be super safe with the ball, and the Broncos are going to run up the score because of it, because now they're afraid they're going to ruin the kid, and all the Jets fans are looking at Sam Darnold like, maybe we were wrong. Fuck yeah, you were wrong.
Yeah, you were wrong. I mean, you think they run the ball a lot?
Dude, Teddy is quietly number 2 in the NFL in QBR. Not a lot of people know that. Now, QBR is not a super stat that a lot of people like. People use the rating. QBR is more accurate. So for analytic reasons, I use QBR. He's quietly number 2. He's really good. I don't think it matters because they're just going to start, like, they're just going to move down the field.
Yeah.
And they're just going to score.
You can't really stop them.
So I like Teddy. I like Sutton. I like Tim Patrick to get a long one. Maybe you can come back with Elijah Moore because they really want him to get the ball for some reason, and I guess he's good with it, but we've yet to really see him do anything with it.
Yeah, I really want to see that running back split because, I mean, Javonte and Gordon, they're just splitting everything equal.
Yeah, well, the Jets, if anything, they have a good front defensive line. If that's the only thing. I mean, the Jets
looked great last week.
The Jets' defensive passing is 10th in the league. The Jets' defensive rushing is 12th in the league. The problem is their offense. It's the same thing it's always been. So I don't necessarily like running against the Jets, although they're going to get a lot of opportunities because I think the Broncos are going to run up the score.
Yeah.
I have it 28-17. I'll take the Broncos. to cover 10.5. That's a big spread, but they can cover 10.5.
That is a big spread, and I mean, I'm right there with you. I think they cover 28-14 Broncos taking the over. I mean, I'm locking it.
Now, I'm a Jets fan. And when the Jets win, they win games they shouldn't win. Like last year when they beat the Rams.
I don't think they have that capability.
They always have that capability. The Jets usually lose everything, and then they win the game they're not supposed to win. I really don't want to take the points in my lock, but I'm going to lock this game the Broncos because I think the Jets could come out and start playing well for no fucking reason and then lose by a point.
No. That's...
I know it's highly unlikely.
It's not highly unlikely. It's just not going to happen.
Well, then take the points.
Okay.
So I have a lock.
Yeah.
I'm going to lock it just the Broncos.
Okay. I'll lock the points, 10.5.
Dolphins, Raiders. Dolphins are getting 3.5. This is really odd to me. Over-under's 44. Down from 45.5. The Dolphins are a good team. They have quarterback issues. They're super young. They need time to develop an identity with the quarterback who they don't have.
I think that's why the line moved, because it's Brissett. He's had time playing. He knows how to do stuff. He can run an offense. So it's not like they have nobody.
But the Raiders are 2-0, and they looked really, really good.
Both weeks.
I don't think the Dolphins can win this game.
No, not going to Vegas.
DFS, I think Renfro has got the best matchup. I think Waddle could get a lot. Waddle is amazing.
He should get something, yeah.
Like, you just got to get him the ball, and he's like McCaffrey. He's a magician. Problem is, he doesn't really get the ball very often. Maybe you can play Carr. I like Renfro's matchup, but I think the Raiders win this game. I have it 27-20 Raiders. I'll take them to win by more than 3.5, and that's a lock.
Yeah, locking it up. Raiders 28-20. I'll take the over.
Yeah, so we both have the over, both have the Raiders, and we both lock this shit. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Buccaneers Rams. Buccaneers are now getting one. Or they were getting one.
They were getting one, which was kind of surprising.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And now the Rams are getting one. Which makes more sense. Everyone thinks, the Buccaneers are the best team. And there's a good argument for that. Over-under's up to 55.5. That's a giant spread.
Yeah.
DFS play, I like Woods. And I think you got to run with Gronk if you
take all the receiving options. I have the over in this game.
The problem with that is the Buccaneers, they take turns. Like, Evans will have a good game. Then Godwin, and then
I think it's going to be multiple people. There's going to be at least two guys that have a good game this one, if not three, on the Buccaneers. And Kupp and Woods, Kupp's been looking great, so I'm not scared to play him, and Woods should be a safe floor with high upside.
Yeah, and I actually gave this out on our Facebook page as well as on my DraftKings social. This is typically just for our Patreon subscribers, it's $1 a month, and they all every single one of our Patreon members have won at this point.
It's pretty good for $1.
But that is, Cooper Kupp is at almost 35% owned in DraftKings, so you're probably better off hoping he misses than playing him, because he's so expensive. If you don't play him, it'd be more beneficial.
Maybe, but I don't think he's going to do bad. I think he's going to have a pretty good game. I mean, the Buccaneers have a pass funnel defense, and I don't see any rushing for either team really a whole lot. It's all going to be passing, and I don't think either one can really stop them.
No, but that's why the analytics will tell you to go with Woods if you're DFS play. Just because there's going to be points in this game. If you're right about Kupp not getting a high ceiling and you get some with Woods, then you just beat all those people. You're saving almost $2,400.
That's just not a bet I want to take, though. I don't want to bet against Kupp.
This is a coin flip game. I have no real slight on any part of it. I'm simply taking the Rams to win because that's how I projected preseason when I did power rankings. I had the Rams over the Buccaneers. So they're playing. I'm going to have the Rams over the Buccaneers. I have it close. I have it 28-27, which is a decent scoring game.
That's a good scoring game.
And that's the under.
Yeah,
I feel better about the under than anything else.
I have a 31-28 Rams. I'm taking them to win. I do have the over. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this one.
Seahawks Vikings. This is an interesting game because we don't really know what to make of the Vikings.
I mean, they put up points.
They do put up points.
That's all you really need.
And Seattle's defense is not very good.
No.
But Seattle puts
Vikings-
up points. And the Vikings defense is not very good.
No.
So this is a weird, like, shootout style game.
Yeah.
Right?
It feels like it should be a shootout, but it's
Yeah.
kind of a weird thing to it.
So I think Dalvin Cook is going to just go off.
He's dealing with an ankle, but I mean, he should play.
I think he's going to go off. With that being said, I mean, Dalvin Cook versus the 31st ranked run defense. Like, they're going to rely on him. And if the Seahawks want to crash down and try to stop that, they're going to go over the top with Jefferson.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be a high-scoring
But
game.
after they score, they give the ball right to Russell Wilson, and you're telling me Metcalf and Lockett and Carson can't go down and just score?
Oh, I do. This is the analytics stat that I saw that I'm going to believe in because it just makes sense.
What?
These two teams play the middle of the field more than any other team in the league. This clock's going to run. They're going to be explosive, yes. But I'm taking the under and I'm going to lock it. 55 points is a lot.
Lock in the under.
55 points is a lot. These two teams are going to play the middle of the field. The clock's going to keep running, even on passing plays. They're almost double any other team in the middle of the field. Now, if you throw to the sideline or you do swing passes, they go out of bounds, whatever, they don't catch. Both of them have pretty good completion percentages. Both these defenses are bad. I think the clock's going to run a lot. I have it 28-21 Vikings. I want the Vikings to cover the 2, or I'm taking 2 points, but I still think they can win this game by a lot. I wanted to originally lock the Vikings to win the game.
I could see the Vikings winning, but I don't think they will. I have a 34-31 Seahawks. I have them covering that 2 and over.
65 points. You have the over by 10 points.
Yeah.
I have the under by 6 points.
I feel like I should just lock the over.
I feel like you should. We'll just battle this one out.
All right, I'll lock it because I do feel confident in it going over. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored, even if the clock runs fast. I don't think it'll be that fast. I think even they'll be able to be efficient at least with their time and score points because they can't stop each other. They can't.
Yeah, but the clock's going to run fast.
It only takes one throw to score a touchdown for both teams.
Fair enough, but they're not going to do that every play or you're going to pick it off.
No, I don't see it going every play, but
you're
once
still gonna
every drive. I mean, say they only get 4 downs. One of those 3, they're not going to throw a deep ball.
They're not going to throw a deep ball unless they're in or around the 40. Okay? They're not going to do it close to their own end zone. You can't do it close to the other end zone, which means most of this game is going to be running. And I think because of the chunk plays and everything, I don't think they're going to be around the 40 to the 50 very often. I think there's 2 big bomb plays in this game, and that's it.
You don't need to throw it 60, 70 yards. You could throw it 20, 30 to lock it, and he can take it to the house.
Yeah, but I don't know if he can. I don't think the Vikings defense is
He's already
that
done
bad.
it.
I mean, their defensive passing is 22nd in the league. It's not
That's
terrible.
not great.
It's not terrible.
It's not good. It's kind of bad. I mean, Seahawks, their pass is 26th. Run defense is bad for both, obviously.
All right, fine. I'm pussying out.
Oh.
You make good, valid points. I respect that.
Well,
I
that's just what I
respect
think.
that.
That's my view of it. Whether or not you want to believe it is on you.
No, it's not enough to make me flip, but it's enough to make me.
Well, I put
not...
the over for you. I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah, I'm gonna remove my lock to the under, but I challenge you.
You challenge me to
I
what?
challenge you to a personal, I don't know. I'm better than you. I think you're wrong. I think you're
You
right.
give me a Bears Bengals situation.
No, I can. What does that even mean? What does that even
I
mean?
called you out on the Bears Bengals, and
I'm calling you out
kept
here.
doing it. So you're thinking I should not
But no,
lock it?
I can't even call you
Yeah.
out because the 2 times I tried to call you out, you're like, okay, and then you went all in, and then what am I supposed to say? I can't say nothing until next week when you're fucking wrong.
But that's the thing, though. That day never comes.
Whatever, fine.
Should I not lock it?
Fine.
I mean, I feel strongly about the over. What was this? What about Jeffrey?
If you're wrong, you give that away.
I gotta give away Jeffrey?
Yeah.
Right. If I'm wrong on the over of the Seattle-Minnesota game of 55, I will give away Alshon Jeffrey to somebody.
Packers, Niners. Packers down to 3. Which, okay. I don't know why the line's moving down. Over-under went up to 50.
I like the Packers. I kind of want to pick them to win this game.
So do it.
I can't.
Oh.
But
Yeah, I
I
can't
certainly
either.
have them to take them with the 3.
Oh.
That's, I mean, I take that. I have it 28-27 Niners, but I like it within the 3 for the Packers.
I have it 21-17. It's a low-scoring game.
Yeah, well.
I have the under. I have the 49ers to win that by more than 3, and I'm locking it. I'm locking this game.
You're locking Sunday night.
I'm locking Sunday night.
What are you locking?
The 49ers to win by more than 3.
Or to win by more than 3.
Yes. Now, I think the Packers do have a good passing defense.
They do.
They're 29th in defensive rushing. And what the fuck did the Niners do? They run the ball. They're going to control this game entirely. I don't care who their running back is. They have shown us it doesn't matter who their running back is. These are like Ravens 2.0.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter. I mean, Jaquez is probably going to come off the practice squad
like
and
him.
do something.
I think
He's a
Jaquez
big
is,
guy.
I think he's gonna fucking kill it. But I don't know. I think Trey Sermon could come out. I think Elijah Mitchell can play with his shoulder. I don't think it matters. I think they're gonna run the ball. They're gonna control the game. It's gonna be a low scoring game. I feel almost more confident on the under, but I don't think the Packers can win this game.
I don't think the Niners have a corner that can cover Adams. And I think
I agree.
Adams is going to have a game this week. I think he's going to go off him and Rodgers. I feel like the Packers really want to run the ball and be a run-first team, but I don't see why you would do that. I mean, yeah, you have Aaron Jones. Yeah, you have a good line. But you have Aaron Rodgers. Let him air it out.
You have Aaron Rodgers for a year.
Yeah.
You're
Use
gonna
him.
have to try to figure out what you're doing without him. I don't know. I do like Adams. The problem is I don't think they're going to have the ball. I think time of possession is going to be double on the 49ers. We're going to recap our locks because we need clarity with our locks.
I think they need clarity with our locks.
Sure. My locks are the 49ers giving 3 points, the Raiders giving 3.5 points, Denver, Arizona, and the Giants all to win outright. 5 locks.
I have Seattle versus Minnesota over. I have the Vegas to win. I have Denver giving 10.5 and Arizona winning. So I got 4, you got 5.
One of us is going to be happy.
I'm already happy.
I feel good about this week.
I think I got you.
I felt pretty good week 1. I knew week 2 was going to be rough. Feel good about this week.
I don't know. Week 2 wasn't
And
that bad.
I would have won, well, my
On 5K.
viewers, Patreon people would have witnessed me winning $700 last week if I wouldn't have took the fucking Jets. So I was still close.
That's what you get for taking the Jets.
And hey, that's big numbers considering I don't bet more than $5. Because that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Like, anybody can
Good
bet
money.
with me. I don't recommend it. I am definitely down for the year so far.
Yeah.
But last week, I almost fucking got one.
This is the week.
Why is there a battery on your shelf? I just noticed it last week. I didn't say anything. I was just...
What?
You have a...
It's double A.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
I never would have made that assumption.
Duracell.
We are not sponsored by Duracell. They do not pay us for this